Hello, family. How are y'all? That was my song, y'all. That I Am Healed. That was my song, okay? It still is my song because I had to claim that thing. I knew I wanted to be healed and I knew I was going to be healed. So I had to claim that thing in Jesus' name. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to bring Solomon in here in just a second, but I wanted to go over some announcements. How are y'all doing? Let me see who's in here. Faith-based, of course. Love, peace. Yes. Thank you guys. Coach Natisha, Adrena, Danny. Thank you guys so much. As I always say, you could have been anywhere. Keflu. I hope I'm saying that right. I hate to mess up people's names. Amen. I saw Tanya in here. Just say no to narcs. Shine, sugar, shine. Yes, guys. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to do things a little bit different before I bring Solomon in here. So tonight, of course, is the stages of narcissist abuse, discovery, and recovery. And this is part 3, guys. We're talking about the isolation and desperation, okay? But before we get into that, before I bring Solomon in, y'all, I turned 45 this week, okay? So that is some people don't live to see 45. So I count it all joy. I count it all joy. So I thank God, even though we didn't have lights, we didn't have heat, we didn't have power, but we had each other and we had Jesus, okay? So I had the Holy Spirit. We had the Holy Spirit, okay? So thank you guys for your birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I thank God for allowing me to see another year. I don't take life for granted, especially after been through what I've been through. You think I'm gonna take life for granted? I think not. So every day that I get up, every day that I have air in my lungs and I'm in my right mind, I thank God for that. So today I'm celebrating. My family celebrated with me last night. They surprised me. They are awesome. So I thank God for having a beautiful husband and beautiful children and people surrounded by people who truly love me for me. Okay. So thank you for celebrating with me. We're just going to continue on the celebration. And I'm going to go back and read your comments as I always do, but I wanted to do some announcements. Okay. So of course, for anybody who's just watching, I'm Shannon Savoy, narcissist abuse and recovery coach. Also getting into deliverance, because this is what this really is all about. Yes, we love talking about the narcissists, not love talking about them. It's just part of the process, right? So it's really not about them. As I always say, oh, you thought that was about a narcissist? Oh no, guys, this is about our healing. This is about deliverance. This is about us knowing who we are in Christ. This is about us breaking chains. This is about us surviving, okay? So I am a speaker, a domestic violence, abuse and recovery survivor and advocate, okay? That is what God, that's why I went through all this, so I can go back and bring somebody else back up. It's not just for me, because God knows I wanted to just sit on this. God knows I wanted to just go on and heal and do the things that I was supposed to do and just live my life. And God said, nope, you're going to have to get up and you're going to have to bring somebody else on in, help somebody else come through. So I was like, okay, God. So I am a vessel. That's all I am. I am just a vessel. I am just a disciple. I am just an apostle for God, okay, for the gospel. All right. So we are breaking the chains of narcissist abuse together. All right. So if this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for being here. And if you're going to watch the replay, thank you. And if you are part of the family, okay, if you are a chain breaker, thank you for so much for being here, because you could have been anywhere. You could be doing anything right now. But here we are family. And there are people in the comments you may not feel comfortable commenting, but I can't see your comments. Don't forget to like it, okay? Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get the notifications, okay? But I can't see you, okay, unless you come forward. And I can guarantee you, if you like and comment instead of lurking, I can tell you that you will feel like you are part of the family. If you just sit back, it's kind of like sitting in the back row at church. Okay, if you just sit back in the back row at church, nobody really knows you're there. The usher's going to come in and they're going to sit you back where you want to be seated. But if you come in and you sing in the choir, okay, and you join the ministry and you join the team, okay, then you really feel like you're a part of the family. And that's what we're here. We're here to share. We want to hear your stories, okay? We want to hear what you have to say. We want to hear your experiences here. So if you have any questions, any comments, I'm just leading this right here. But we're all leaders in our own little way. We're all apostles. We're all teachers. That's really what we're just all here teaching and all here learning. We're all students. Okay. No one greater than the next. We're just different bodies of the same body of Christ. All right. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe and put something in the comments so we know that you're here. All right. And make sure that you follow me on Clubhouse, TikTok, Facebook, IG, Twitter, wherever you reside. I'm there. We're there. Narc Free Living is there. Okay. Under Narc Free Living LLC. All right. And just a note on Tuesdays. Let me see if I put a banner up for this. On Tuesdays, Shine Sugar Shine and I do a Clubhouse room about narcissistic mothers. So if you like, please go and join us there. If you haven't followed me, on Clubhouse, we discuss narcissistic wounds. Those are taken off. I couldn't attend all of it this week because we didn't have any power and any phone signal, but Cashmere took that off and we're up and running. Okay. So if you can join us on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. CST, we're discussing all things narcissistic mothers. Okay. So we can begin to heal. All right. And that's on Clubhouse. And then on Thursdays, I do help moderate a room for other, just all things narcissist abuse with two brilliant young ladies, Love Bomb MD and Elevated Mindset Bree. And we talk all things narcissism. And the week before last, we did hypervigilance. So if Clubhouse, whatever you want to say about it, is just like IG, Twitter, and anything else, is healing there. And healing happens in these rooms. Okay. I'm here to tell you. All right. And what else do I want to say? Yes. And then this week, Solomon and I have speaking engagements. I don't know if Coach Love is in here, but we this Tuesday, if you're on LinkedIn and Facebook, we'll be talking about narcissist abuse. And then the week after that, Solomon and I will be at the Let's Keep It Real conference. Solomon will be discussing overcoming narcissist abuse. And then I'll be discussing discovery, narcissist abuse, discovery and recovery, why my wounds work for me. Okay. So when God says that he will pour out a blessing that you won't have room enough to receive, if you make yourself available, to the calling, God will make sure that your gifts make room for you. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to bring Solomon in here. Hello, Solomon. How are you? Let me see how I want to put this. I think that's good.
I'm doing all right. How y'all doing? Hey, everybody.
How is everybody doing? How are you, Solomon? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Solomon Savoy, CEO of Faith-Based Workplace. Y'all know me from my YouTube channel. And for y'all that don't know me, I have a YouTube channel where I talk about narcissistic abuse and, situations that happen in the workplace. Because it's like I said before, the same person that leaves home that's a narcissist and goes to work, they still a narcissist at work. So that's why we tackle it from two different perspectives. One dealing, with narcissists, whether it's male or female in the home, and then I do it from the workplace. So, you can follow me on, I don't know, everything, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't go on Twitter too much, and I don't do TikToks. I'm not into that. So, so I'm not into that, but yeah, you can follow me on, all those things. And then, like Shannon said, we got speaking engagement and things coming up. Thank God. So never thought I'd be speaking in front of this many people doing things, but hey, it's all good though.
Yes. Okay. So before we get into the isolation and desperation. Okay. So as I said earlier, this is so not about the narcissist, y'all. And I know it seems like it because they've come in and shook, like I always say, they came in there and shook your world up like a snow globe, okay? But this is spiritual warfare. And I can say, before I knew about narcissists, before my world got shook upside down, I didn't know anything about spiritual warfare. I just knew to go to church and to pray. And if I needed something extra, if I was going through a particularly hard time in my life, I knew to go down to the altar call. But what I wasn't taught, and I talk a lot about pastors and churches and everything, but please don't think I'm bad mouthing, because there are, like I always say, there are some awesome ministries. Okay, these are the ones who are sent from God, that are anointed and appointed. We need these people. Okay, but what they didn't teach me, what I never knew, was that this is spiritual warfare. I never heard a message on spiritual warfare. I never knew really how to fight. I just knew how to go to another man and ask them to pray for me. But what I was never taught was that same power. And until I really got into, the Bible, until I was born again, and Christ had to lead me step by step on his own. Okay. And God had to show me that. But I didn't know that the same power, the same preacher, the same power that is in that preacher, God, I have that I can have that anointing as well. Okay. It just doesn't stop at one person. The same preacher that goes and prays for me, I can go into spiritual warfare and pray for myself. I can pray for my family. Now, the Bible also says we also need to touch, where 2 and 3 are gathered. There is power in that. So please don't mistake what I'm saying. Please don't take that and go totally left. Okay, but these are different times. You may not be able to get to a church, and you need to know how to fight on your own. Okay, so you need to know that the narcissist is sent to entrance, entrap, ensnare, and engulf you. Okay, so for those of you that want to take narcissists lightly, this is not to be taken lightly. Okay, you see your flesh, you see your husband, you see your wife, you see whoever it is, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mother, your father, you see your coworker, your best friend, but what you don't see are those spirits that they are wrestling with, okay, with those demonic spirits. And what God showed me was that, just like the narcissist, I needed to go through spiritual deliverance. Okay, there were some things that were unclean in me, and that's still ongoing. Okay, so don't think, the narcissist is the only one that's possessed, or not possessed, but the only one that is wrestling with demons. You probably wrestling with some demons too. You probably wrestling with some unclean spirits too. You probably have rejection. Okay, you might be wrestling with gluttony. You may be wrestling with things. So don't just think that the narcissist is the only one that's going to get some of this. Everybody is going to get some of this, because we all need spiritual deliverance. Okay, but the narcissist can be the nicest person on social media, but behind closed doors, these people are living in hell. Okay, and the people that live with the narcissist are living in hell on earth. Okay, so that's the confusing part. The narcissist is extra nice to those who don't require anything of them, but if you live with them, there are expectations. Okay, if you live with a narcissist, you have expectations of them, and narcissists loathe expectations, requirements, and demands. Okay, so even me, I had to think about it. Even with my family, even with my ex or whoever, when I think about my family, I just gave, and as long as I was giving, the giving was good. Okay, as long as I was giving, it was no problem. All right, but what God was showing me was that I was casting my pearls to swine. I was enabling people. Okay, I was not helping them. You are not helping people by not holding them accountable. You are not helping people when we just, sit back and play two sides to every story. And, well, that's not mine. I'm not getting in it. You are casting your pearls to swine. Okay, so when I look back in it, all these things were just photo opportunities. It was image manipulation and image management. Okay, so the narcissist loves when empaths are like that. They love the empath because the empath just wants to be loved, right? That's all we want. We just want to be loved. But empaths are groomed from birth to be low maintenance, okay? Empath doesn't want much, and the narcissist wants everything. They want everything from you, and as long as you give, they are going to take. All right, so the empath was groomed from birth not to expect much, to overgive, to overshare, and to self-sacrifice, and that is a perfect dance made in hell with the empath, the unhealed empath, the unhealed empath, and the narcissist. Okay. So narcissists are takers and empaths are givers. But as soon as you learn that you have to be authentically you are going to have to sit with yourself and figure out what you like, what you want, where you want your life to go. Okay. So God, you're going to have to sit with yourself and God to heal. And that's what we're going to talk about. That's what me and Solomon are getting ready to dive into. We're going to talk about the wilderness. Some of you want to avoid the wilderness. You just want to go from being in a narcissistic relationship to being healed to being top of the line. You know, God's just going to put you just put you first. No, my dear. No, you have to go through this wilderness. You have to go through each and every step, because each and every step is going to teach you something. And you have to grab hold of that, because once you learn it, now you can go back and teach somebody. But how are you going to be the teacher if you never go through the classes? Okay. You just want to go from being a narcissist victim to all the way to being the teacher. No, you have to go through some classes. You have to go through the school of hard knocks. Okay. You have to go through God's grooming school. You have to allow God to crush you so he can build you up and mold you up into the person that he wants to be. So it's going to be ugly. It's going to be hurt. Okay. It's going to hurt. All right. But you're going to make it through it. Okay. All right. So Solomon, let's get into this. So I just wanted to say that, and then I'm going to go back. I know some of you got some comments in here while Solomon's talking. I'll go back and read your comment, but let's get into this. Let's get into this, the stages. Okay. So the stages of narcissist abuse recovery, of abuse, discovery, and recovery. And as I said, we're talking about the isolation and desperation, because those phases are ugly. All right. So Solomon, let's talk about that wilderness. So we talked about last week. What did we talk about last week? The education and Googleation. All right. Yeah. So once you come out of that, well, and those phases are ongoing. They run congruently. They run concurrently. Okay. So it doesn't, one phase just doesn't stop. Okay. Because you make it through there, that you still educate yourself. You're still Googling. You're still finding out. But now we're going to get into the wilderness. And Solomon, if you want to hit on what the wilderness means to you.
Yeah, to me, the wilderness that's when you gotta realize that you're gonna be some of the things that you used to doing with family and friends and things like that. You're gonna be doing them on your own. It could be simple as having maybe your favorite aunt watching your kids. Well, now that you start exposing narcissists and stuff, maybe that aunt is not going to be available to watch your kids. Going to the football games or school events like that you used to go with your cousins. Well, some of your cousins think you crazy because I'm using my air quotes, because you calling people narcissists, when in actuality they know something wrong with that person, but being that you the only one that's saying it, they basically you the outcast. So you gotta look at some of those things and just prepare for that you're gonna be in these situations by yourself, and it's no one that's gonna help you through these things. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can go to YouTube now. We got a lot of channels and things like that you can go to. You have books you can read, but I'm talking about physically. A lot of times you don't have a friend that's already been through that. You're not going to have a family member or a friend that's going to be able to step forward and help you during that wilderness stage. So to me, the wilderness is basically what it is. It's the wilderness. You out there alone, and you're in a city by yourself. You got a city like we in Houston have millions of people, but guess what? I can't reach out to not one of them because nobody know exactly what I'm going through. So that's what wilderness is to me. It's being in a situation where all these people walk by me every day when I'm downtown or wherever, but not now one of them can relate to what I'm going through. So that's wilderness to me.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because when you're going through the wilderness, I'll say for me, and y'all tell in the comments like what is and what the wilderness feels like to you. But the wilderness for me, it was just like Solomon said, like you ever see like those scenes in a movie where the person is standing, and I have one of them in my videos, where the person is standing still and the world is just like all around them. It's still going on, but you yourself, you're like, what in the world has happened to me? What is going on? And you feel like the world, like I'm going through this, like something should stop, like the world should stop, because I'm going through this, but the world just keeps on going. And you really have to learn how to navigate that wilderness. And it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough, but you can make it through the wilderness. And I know for me that wilderness was something else. Because I was broken, I was broke down. I was wondering like what had happened to me, what was going on, so that wilderness is nothing to play with. But now that on the other side of the wilderness, and I've had to go through, of course, different types of wilderness in my life, but going through it, you see how the narcissist, what their goal is during the wilderness. So the narcissist has a goal during the wilderness, and God has a goal during the wilderness. God's goal, and this is where you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused on what God is trying to do for you and through you and to you in this season, because there is going to be a tendency to want to, want to lay down in the wilderness. You're going to want to hide in the wilderness like Elijah did. You're going to want to run into that cave. You're going to want to hide. Okay. But you have to know what God is trying to do in that wilderness and what the enemy is trying to do in that wilderness. Solomon, what do you think the enemy is trying to do in that wilderness time?
Basically, it's like, a movie or a scene where you see somebody getting beat up and they're already down, they're getting kicked. So that's the enemy. They kick you while you're already down. So they want to use that opportunity. They see you going through a situation and they know, hey, look, I got Solomon, I got Shannon. Let's go ahead. Let's give them a knockout blow. And that's what they're trying to give to you. That wilderness stage, I think they're trying to give you the knockout blow to end it all. And that knockout blow, it could be, like I said before, it could be depression, it can be anxiety, and worst case scenario is suicide. So you have the ones that they never get up. So they knock down and they never get up because they end up killing themselves. So that, to me, is what the enemy is trying to do, is that knockout blow, that I call it a one hitter quitter. So that last hit is going to be the end all be all. And that's what the enemy trying to do. I mean, they not here to. I think a lot of people get it confused. They're like, well, the narcissist was nice to me today. Yeah, that was today. But what about yesterday when they beat you up, or the day before that, or 2 years ago when they choked you out and things like that? So that one day of them being nice, nah. So yeah, whatever. Yeah. That's what I say about that.
And that's another confusing part, because sometimes the narcissists are nice. You know what I mean? They're nice, especially when they want something. And that's what you have to realize, especially if you're just getting out of this, especially if you're just in the brand new phases. Oh, that narcissist is going to be nice to you. Okay, that narcissist is going to do whatever they have to do and say whatever they have to say to take the heat off of them, to take the accountability off of them. Okay, because narcissists hate accountability, and they hate boundaries, and they hate you finding out who you are. And that is the goal of the just like God has a plan for the wilderness, the enemy's plan for your isolation period is for you, just like Solomon said, it is to break you down. And I had to realize, even with my relatives, and I told Solomon this before we started, they really wanted to leave me with nobody. You know what I mean? They did not want anybody on my side. And this was my mother. This was my family. They didn't want me to have any. If they could have took Solomon and my kids, they would have. Their goal was to break me down. So they break me down so far that I go back into bondage with them. And that's what some of you are doing. Some of you realize that your mother is a narcissist. Some of you realize that your family is a narcissist. Some of you realize that your friend or that your spouse. And when that isolation period comes and that silent treatment comes, it is designed to make you look inward at yourself and not look at the narcissist, because we are empaths. We always introspect. We always look inwardly. Okay. But the narcissist projects all of their shame, all of their guilt onto us. And we sit there like, oh, what did I do wrong this time? You know, what could I have done different? What could you have done differently? Get out of the way of a demon. That's what you could have done differently. So the narcissist's goal with the isolation, and God's goal with the wilderness is to build you up. It is the exact opposite of what the narcissist wants. So the wilderness is necessary for your healing journey, and you cannot rush it. Okay, because I understand you want to get rid of that pain, but you cannot rush it. Did you want to say anything else on that, Solomon?
Yeah, it's basically pressure burst pipes. And anybody down here in Houston, you know that this last week we had a lot of burst pipes because they couldn't take what was going on. We had a burst pipe in
Yes.
our house. We didn't have water for a few days because the burst pipe. So to me, if you think of a weak pipe or a weak vessel, us being the vessel, if you weak, you're gonna burst under pressure. So the enemy is gonna take you out at that time. So if you're that stronger pipe, that copper pipe or that metal pipe, you probably can hold up to the pressure a little bit longer. So all we're saying is when you're in that wilderness stage, you have to be that stronger version of yourself. You know, when nobody else can reach out and say, here, take my hand. God reaching out all the time. We just not listening to him sometimes. You know, we don't want to hear that. We're like, nah, this, you know, we always say that little voice, and I have to work on that myself, saying it's not just a voice, it's actually God talking to me. It's the Holy Spirit speaking to me, saying,
Yeah.
no, not this time. Don't fight this battle. You know, because you can't fight every battle either. So during that wilderness stage, you have to know when to pick your battles and when to go ahead and move on. So you have to realize that this stage is what we just called it. It's a stage. It's a phase. It's going through the process, but you got to go through the process to get to the other side. So you can't just stay in that wilderness stage.
That's good. That is good. Um, let's talk about another thing, and then we'll go into the depression, the weight loss, the weight gain, CPTSD. So you want to start off with you against the world?
you you against the world is basically, I mean, what it said is like the old Tupac song, "Me Against the World." But you know, with this, the narcissist is going to take everybody and use them against you. So everybody you thought that was your friend, you thought that was your sister, your brother, your mama, your daddy, whatever. They're going to take all these people and use them against you. And I've been in that situation a couple times where the ex would call my biological dad. It's crazy. Call him and try to use him against me. So we had to have a conversation about it. Then, you know, once he realized what was going on, he was able to understand that, okay, you're only hearing one side of the story. It's always, I always say it's three sides to the story. It's their story, it's my story, and then the truth lies somewhere in the middle. So it's up to that person to figure out, you know, who telling the truth. So if you know me, you know me. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody telling you something that kind of line up with, you know, nah, this Solomon used to do that, it should be a red flag for you when they telling you that story. So that's how you end up being you against the world, because they taking all these different people that are been in your life for years, and they're going to take all these people and then they're going to turn against you. Now, to me, we want to blame the narc, and yes, it's rightfully so. You will blame the narc, but at the same time, all these are adults usually they turn against us, and we know we do kids sometimes too. But I'm talking to the adults. So the adults that they turn against you, y'all right mind, body, soul, just like me. So if you believe in this person, you shouldn't be in my life anyway. So me against the world is me against people that shouldn't have been in my life in the first place. And it goes out to anybody, whether it's family, friend, and obviously foes. So it really doesn't matter. And like I said before, what I love about this, I'll tell you what I do love about the wilderness and then me against the world. It's me against the world, but then God bringing me a spiritual family out of all this. So it's like, hey, it is what it is. So the people that's getting removed is getting replaced with the Tanyas of the world, the Adrenas of the world, the Alan B's of the world, I think I said Talkers of the world. Everyone, the list can go on. George, people like that. And I'm not just saying it just because these people have channels and things. That's not why I'm saying it. Anybody that know me, I'm saying it because I have an actual connection with these people. I know if push came to shove and I couldn't go to my wife, I got other people that I can actually call. You know, Shine, Sugar, Shine, people like that. I can call different people or reach out to them. You know, hey man, look, I got a situation. Because even though I'm going through the healing process and probably further along than some, listen to what I said. I'm going through the healing process, so I'm still going through it. So, and who's to say when that's gonna be over? So, yeah, that's my take on that. So let's go. Probably be me against the world for a lot, but for a long time. But I have a family that's starting to stand and stand in the gap with me. It's not just me and Shannon praying by ourselves. And I noticed that when I did a post on LinkedIn, and that's the last thing I'll say. When I did a post on LinkedIn, I just was saying, when I was able to get service last week with all the storm and stuff we had going on, I was letting people know, me and Shannon was all right. We didn't have lights or water at the time, but we was all right. And you should have seen the response of all the people that came out and said, we praying. That's all. I didn't ask for water or food. I just asking for your prayers. Like I always say, prayers free. So I realized then, see all those people that reached out, not one of them was family. So just remember that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you took it there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So and that's hard. You know what I mean? Solomon, everything you said was so true. It's hard because you think that it is going, and if you have that, like don't let us think that because we don't have that you can't have that, because some of you have some families who will ride for you, okay? And that is awesome if you have that, but that is not always the case, okay? So yeah, you really have to, like we always say, you really have to find your tribe. And as you are going through this, it is going to feel like you are against, the world is against you, okay? But God for you is way more than the world against you. And you have to keep that in mind. We want physical people. We want physical manifestation, but God works in the spirit, okay? He works in the spirit realm. So like Solomon said, he is going to send you people. And it's crazy how it happens, because it's like when you are down, anytime that I'm like having a pity party for myself, God will send somebody to tap me on my shoulder and be like, girl, get up. Get up. You can cry, you can feel whatever you want to feel, like Elijah was again, when he was out there. And God had to say, where are you? Why are you here? Why are you here? And you have to begin to ask yourself, Sophie, I think you said you've been in the wilderness all your life. It's something that God really wants to teach you. When we're in the wilderness, it should be hills and valleys. You know what I mean? Life is hills and valleys. And if we're always in the valley, it's something that we're not learning. So we have to learn to, and I'm not saying that's you, but I know for me, when I'm not in tune with God, when I'm not moving in obedience as he wants me to do, he'll sit me down. He'll sit me down in that valley and in that wilderness. And then I have to, really get into him to see what he's trying to teach me. But a lot of people stay in the wilderness longer than they have to because of disobedience. God is telling you to get up. God is telling you to tell your story. God is telling you to start that ministry. God is telling you want to listen to the enemy's voice in your head. No, you remember when you was 5, people made fun of you. Oh, you remember they said you were stupid. Oh, well, she has it like this. Well, he's doing this. And God is telling you to focus on me. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and how everybody else is doing it. God is concerned with you in the wilderness. This is your journey. You almost have to have blinders on. You have to have blinders on in the wilderness. You have to go through there like you're a horse walking through with blinders on. And you have to focus on God and you sometimes you're gonna have to tune people out, and they may think that, oh, she's being stuck up, oh, she's doing it. No, I'm trying to get God's word in me, okay? I'm trying to get through this wilderness season. It's not about you all the time while I'm not calling you. It's not about you all the time while I'm not reaching out to you. I'm going through something. I'm trying to get through something, okay? But you have to learn that God will send you people right when you think you're about to have that pity party and you throwing a temper tantrum. God will be like, he'll send somebody to let you know that you are on the right track. So you can't stay in the wilderness too long, okay? If you are in the wilderness too long, you got to really sit with God and really see what he is trying to teach you. All right, so Solomon, and I don't know if you had this, and I'll start going through the comments again. What did the obsessive thoughts look like? How do you overcome the rumination? And if rumination is just another word for obsessive thoughts, especially when it's very common when you have CPTSD and you come out of this to play the enemy soundtrack over and over again. So how does that look like to you, Solomon? How do you think you overcome that?
I think obsessive thoughts are those thoughts where it's things a lot more when it comes from certain family members or certain close friends. Like it's like you just said, where they're saying, things like you can't do it, you can't make it, or what are you doing? What do you know about a restaurant? I had somebody say that to me, but anyway, we'll get into that another time. But when they say things like that, and they it's like they're trying to put their thumb on you and downplay. I'm like, you downplaying something that you've never done yourself. So why am I even listening to you? So the way you get past it, I'm listening to somebody. It's like going, how can I say this? It's like trying to make $1 million, but going to somebody that only got $100 and never had money in their life. Why am I going to listen to you on how to get $1 million when you can't tell me how to get $100? So the same thing with this. So the question, I mean, you got to stop listening to a lot of people. And I think Tonya said something, or you got to God trying to sit everybody down. You got to listen to God and know what God wants from you. So the thing with family and friends, a lot of these people telling you things they've never done themselves. They can't tell you about how to deal with a narcissist. They can't tell you how to deal with abuse because they never dealt with it. They can't tell you how to deal with childhood trauma. They never dealt with that. And then some of them that have, guess what? They forgot it and suppressed it down to where they ain't gonna tell nobody they have anyway because they're embarrassed by it. And I understand that. I'm not knocking anybody that's been through that. So my thing is, some of these people, you just gotta just stop listening to. I don't care who they are, mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin, favorite friend from when y'all was 5, y'all met on the playground in kindergarten, whatever. They don't know your situation. They only know what you tell them. So therefore, those thoughts that's always in your head and things that you're going through, you got to just put them to the side. You got to go to God in prayer. That's when you go in your war room, go to God in prayer, and all them negative thoughts go weigh you down more than anything. It's like having a ton of bricks on you. So negative thoughts are weighing your brain down. So you gotta sit back and be like, nah, I gotta get this out of. That's how you get past. I gotta get past this. I gotta go to God in prayer, read my Bible. I got to read my Bible, read other book, you know what I'm saying? YouTube, whatever it is, whatever it takes to get you past these points. Because my thing is, these negative thoughts came from somewhere. It don't necessarily come from us. When you sit there and think about it, it probably came from, like I said, it come from a family member or a friend or somebody close to you that's telling you, you can't do this YouTube channel. Yeah. You can't do this. You can't do that. What are you doing with a clothing line? Oh, that's stupid. Is it really? Have you ever done a YouTube channel? Oh, no? Oh, okay. Okay, so you don't know how to get on YouTube? Oh, okay. You have a clothing line. Oh, you ain't got a clothing line? Okay. You got a business? No? Okay. So why am I listening to you? I'm saying that to be funny, but it's the truth. Why am I listening to? And we do it. We all do it. I'm telling you something I've done. You sit there, you listen, you're like, dang, maybe they got something. Maybe I can't do a business. Or maybe I can't do this. Maybe I shouldn't tell my story because people aren't going to listen to me. And God's going to tell, this story is going to be something. Tell your story. Tell your story. That's all they want to do. Tell your story. Mention me and tell your story, and you're going to be just fine. God is going to provide through all this. So them 2 questions that she had up, yeah, you're going to have to take those negative thoughts and those people, remove those people out your life. I call them negative Nancy's, and they just negative. So, they definitely your downfall. But I guarantee as soon as you fall down, that's going to be the same person. Say, I told you. But when you make it, that's gonna be the same person. I knew you can do it. Man, you gonna get out of my face, man. You just told me that I couldn't do it for the last 2-3 years. So you gotta remember that. That same person gonna come back in your life and say, man, I knew you had it. I was just being, mean to your tough love. You miss me with that tough love. You can go ahead and bump that, whatever.
And that's why God removes them. If you allow God to remove them, God will remove the people who want to take credit for what he is doing in your life. In what he is doing in your life. But so because of that spirit of rejection, that seed of rejection that was placed in us from in our subconscious, okay, because those, like Solomon said, those voices, those same people that are telling you, oh, you only got 1 view on your channel. It always starts with 1 view. So I don't care if you have 1 view, if you have 10 followers, if no one is buying your gear, if no one is buying your shirt, if no one is supporting your channel, you stay at it, okay? And this is for anybody. And then, like Solomon said, if God is telling you to do those things, go ahead and do it. So what if there's 1,000? There's 1,000 of us out here doing this. Millions, should I say. There are millions with YouTube channels. There are millions with clothing line. But being you is your superpower. That's what we don't realize. Being you is your superpower. But stop looking and going to other people, asking them what to do. Be you, and God will send you who you are supposed to have. So how do you cast down those thoughts? 2 Corinthians 10:5 says, casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Okay, so that's what I if you watch this, I'll throw up my hands. Because when Satan tries to come in there and try to tell me you can't do something, I say, devil, you're a liar. I can. And you know why I can? Because through Christ, I can do all things that strengthen me. Okay. I can do all things according to God's will and purpose. Okay. So you have to begin. Don't you throw yourself a pity party talking about what you can and cannot do. Because if it's God's will and he has anointed and appointed you to do that, you do it. I don't care who is watching. I don't care what it looks like to anybody else. So how do you come against those obsessive thoughts? You ask yourself, when that thought enters you, it's work, y'all. Healing is work. This is work. Okay. You're going to have to cast down those strongholds, because for such a long time, like, who was it that said that? Lou, 1, 2, 3, 4. For so long, 20 years, 30 years, some of us, 40 years have been thinking this way. And automatically you think that all those strongholds are just going to miraculously disappear. No, you have to pull them down. You have to cast those demons out. You have to go to work. It's more than just praying them away. Y'all, it is going to war against the enemy. We haven't been taught how to fight. If you don't know how to fight, go back and watch my video on spiritual warfare. I have several videos on spiritual warfare, several videos on soul ties, several videos. Okay, so we should be, if you're in this family, you should be beyond asking, how do I do this? How do I break the soul tie? How do I fight in the spirit? How do I get delivered? Those tools are there, okay? And it's not just me, it's other channels that talk about that. So how do you overcome the rumination? It's gonna take a while to work that stuff out, okay? But you ask that thought, you compare it, okay, let me go back. So let's say, for example, the enemy tries to tell me I'm stupid. You think I'm about to listen to that? I've had the enemy come through a family member and tell me that I was crazy. And you know what I did? I laughed at that fool. I laughed at that enemy. Why am I going to believe the voice of a lying loser? What evidence is it that I'm the crazy one? The evidence points to you, devil, that you're the crazy one. So why am I going to believe that I am crazy? No, and then what do? I rebuke it and I renounce it and I don't come into agreement with it. Okay. That's the same thing you do when you have dreams, when you have thoughts, when you have these obsessive things in your head. You have to get to a point where you're casting down that things and you start to write those things out so that you can unpack them. Okay. So that is the beginning of how you overcome the rumination. Okay. You have to cast down that stuff and you have to understand that this is normal. It is normal to do that, especially after narcissist abuse. It is not going to just go away like that. So you may see somebody else. It seems like they're just having a good time. Like, they're not going through the same thing that you are going through. Everybody's journey is different. Don't compare where you are to somebody's 5-minute highlight reel on their Instagram page. Okay. Stop comparing yourself. All right. Your journey is different, but cast every thought down. Anything else to say about that, Solomon?
Nah, you hit. I think we covered everything on that one.
Yeah. So the desperation. Woo. You want to go first on that one? Was there ever a point where you just felt like you were doing things that you didn't normally do? That you were saying things that you didn't normally say, looking in ways that you wouldn't normally look? The desperation during and after narcissist abuse.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Are you gonna boomerang it back over here?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. The desperation phase. I'm gonna go with the most recent one. The desperation phase, y'all. It was ugly then, and it was ugly during this last period with my relatives. The thing that I remember most was trying to clear my name from the smear campaign. I remember them telling everybody that I was crazy. I remember them telling everybody just blatant lies about me, about my character. And I remember people believing them. So for me, the desperation is knowing that I built my character up, knowing how I am in the inside, and having people believe the lies. So when somebody lies on me, I don't know about y'all, like, you can tell the truth about me all day long. I don't oppose the truth. Oh, Shannon's this, Shannon's that. If I'm those things, I don't feel any kind of way about it. But the moment you lie on me, the moment you lie on my character, it's like, in my integrity and who I am as a person, who I am as a woman, who I am as a mother, that's like, I lose it, because I know that's not me. So I don't know. For me, the desperation and it's still kind of new, y'all, so forgive me. But the desperation was like people believing, and it was me trying to defend my name, like, no, I'm not this way. And now I've gotten to a point where if you believe that, yes, it still hurts, y'all. It still hurts, but if you believe the lies of an enemy, you can go too. Okay. So the desperation for me, Solomon, was people attacking, the narcissist attacking my character, and people believing the lies and me defending it. Now I don't defend it, but it took me a while to get to the place, out of that desperate place where I don't believe what they say, where I don't, try to counterattack and defend my name. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a situation that I went through with that. Ain't nothing come. I'm at a loss right now for once.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you've seen other people in the desperation phase. You've seen other people.
I can't recall a situation. I'm pretty sure I did it, but right now it just ain't nothing coming to mind right now. But I mean, I can go back to what you said though. That I know what it is, the desperation stage, but I can't say this. I think when you in them stages, like these different stages that we naming, and desperation is the stage that you, or the phase, however you want to say it, that you're in. I think you need to realize that a lot of things are going to come out that's not truthful. Like Adrena had just said, she said, "What, I'm a slut or nobody or goodness, no, what else?" So they call you all these different names and things like that. I mean, come on now. It remind me I'm going all the way back to when I was in elementary school, and people would say stuff about my mom back then, and I would get in a fight. I'm not a kid, so you can say all these things about me. Guess what? When I was 5, 6, 7, you'll get me. So I get in fights, But I had to kind of realize these people don't even know my mom. I never seen her before. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about this the same way when you get into the desperation state. Okay, they're saying these lies. None of this stuff is true, so I got to sit back and just laugh at you. Because you laugh in the enemy's face, that make them more mad than you going back and forth with them. They tell a lie, you going back trying to defend yourself. Just sit back and laugh. I'm like, man, God got me. I ain't got time to play with y'all. So during that stage, I can't say this. You got to sit back and be like, hey, yeah, whatever you say, and keep moving.
Yeah,
lies, because you give them lies energy is what I'm saying. So like you going back and forth, you're giving that lie more energy than what it needs. So even on Facebook or on Instagram, whatever it is, when a person hits you with the lie, you sit back and laugh about it. You tell a few people and be like, can't believe what this person did, but you got to sit back and be like, hey, whatever. It is what it is. It's a lie. It's a smear campaign. That's basically what it is. You're trying to smear my name, but you're not gonna win. I don't know who you worship. I worship God. He ain't never lost a battle. So come on with your smear campaign. I say bring it on. I'm like The Rock, just bring it. Come on with it. I'm ready for it. Now, will I win all these little battles? No. But we'll win the main thing that we have to win. So I'm not worried about that. You got to sit back and realize that, again, the enemy is just trying to break you down. It's like when you go to basic training in the military. When I got the basic training, the drill sergeant job is to break you down so they can build you back up. The only difference between the drill sergeant and the enemy gonna break you down and keep you down. They're not trying to build you back up. So you got to realize that. So, go ahead, come on with try to break down. You can talk about me. I'm ugly or short. I've been told all that. It reminds me of the Eminem movie, 8 Mile. Everything I already know what you're about to say, so I can say it before you say it. Go ahead and try it. And I'm gonna sit back and laugh at you. Then it takes away all their power, because now they like, dang, I was gonna say this. Okay, come on, you want to come with something new? What you gonna say? My wife ugly? Everybody can look at that and say, man, what you gonna say? I mean, what can you actually say? I mean, so I've been short my whole life. So what are you saying? I mean, you gonna say I'm short and I'm broke or whatever? I'm rich in God, so take that.
Hello.
That's why I'm at with it. So yeah, I mean, I understand it, but
yeah. No, that's good. You're right. They are going to try to throw everything at you. And especially for those, if you're still in communication with them, their job is to break you down. Their job is really to break you down. It is to leave you. Who said that? I don't know if that was Love Peace or Lou 12340. What I'm saying, their job is really to leave you in despair. It is to break you down. But like Love Peace said, collectively, we need to pray to overcome these demons. This is spiritual warfare, plain and simple. Absolutely. So you hit that out of the park with that. Ooh, all right, let's talk about this one. This Living Well kind of hit on this a minute ago. Because if you talk to me, I'm going to hold you accountable. And I think that's hard because I'm not for everybody. Everybody can't take, my approach to things. So I'm not for you, and that's okay. Somebody is. But if you come to me, I'm going to hold you accountable because I understand it. I understand how if you don't do these things, because I understand the nature of a narcissist, especially if you're just going through it. You don't know what you don't know just yet. You know what I mean? You think that, oh, well, that's my husband. That narcissist is my husband. He would never do that to me. Say that about a narcissist if you want to. And when somebody says that, oh, I don't think he would do that. I don't think she wouldn't do me like that. Oh, okay. And then I see them again in months, and they've already, in a lot of cases, in some cases I see where, and this is usually women, and I talk to more women than men, but usually a woman is going through domestic violence and she won't get a restraining order. She won't file a police report. She won't, and this is not victim blaming. I'm holding you accountable. Okay. We got to be able to talk about these things as family, right? She won't take pictures of her face. She won't, or worse yet, the state wants to file charges. And I've seen this many times, too many to name, where the man has filed, or the state has filed charges, and she will sign off that she does not want to press charges, or she will not go to the court date. So automatically the case gets dismissed. And I said this the other day, and I said this on your live, Solomon, and I'm going to keep reiterating. Hear me and hear me well. If you underestimate a narcissist, if you do not file charges, if they are especially if they are physically abusing you, I think on Tanya's live, I think the lawyer said here in Texas that you can file for, I forgot what it was, some kind of, was it coercive control or something like that, if you have a record. Okay. But if you do not document, if you do not file a restraining order, if you do not do everything that is in your power to protect yourself, hear me and hear me well, chain breakers, you will regret it. Okay. I'm not telling you something that I'm just out here I figure you're going to regret it. I am telling you something that I know. There were times with the narcissist when I got a temporary restraining order where he was violating the restraining order. It was times where I would feel sorry for him. Okay. This is really before I knew how far gone he was. Okay. It was still something in me because I'm human. Okay. Because I have a heart. It was still a soft spot. Even this demon had beat me physically, had tried to break my nose, had tried to do cheating on me, did all these crazy things to me. And it was still some human emotion left for this demon. And I can tell you, I regret it. Do I regret being human? Absolutely not. But I can tell you that I wish every time he picked up that phone to stalk me, every time he picked up that phone to harass me, to try to hoover me back in, I wish I would have called the police every time. And it got to a point where God had to say, if you don't snap your butt out of this foolishness, you are going to regret it. So if you come to me and you saying, oh, my husband, he hit me, or my wife hit me, and you're not filing police reports, and you're not doing everything that you can to protect yourself, oh, how can I help you? I can't. I know that you are not going to listen to me. Okay. You're not even trying to protect yourself. So what can I say that, I will try, but after some point in time, then I just have to pray for you from a distance. Okay. Because I know you don't get it yet. And you're going to have to go through some hard things. And I'm not going to be sitting there watching and listening to your story after story while somebody knocking you upside your head and you still have pity for a demon. Okay. So I can tell you that you will regret that. And that is how being a private person that is how being a private person hurts you. Okay. Because we all private. I was a private person. I don't want nobody in my business. While the narcissist is smearing your name. So Solomon, you take that away because I could talk about that all day.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, the private, which one? The private person part or the
how it hurts and helps you.
I mean, it helps you because you don't want people all in your business. And I learned that years back. You don't want family in your business, especially sometime because you had these situations. Let's say y'all have a fight. I ain't talking about a physical altercation. I'm just talking about a fight. And you go back and tell your family members about this person. And now they automatically going to be on your side and start hating this person. But it ends up working out. But every time you have a family function, they're not going to like that spouse because you didn't told them different things about them. So you got to remember that part. So that's how it kind of hurts you, like being private, but then go and tell. So that's how it kind of hurts you. It helps you to me because some things you have to be private about. Obviously, I mean, you have to protect yourself on certain things. I mean, it's just with anything, with business, with personal, you have to be private about certain things. So it's just as simple as that. You just have to be private on certain things. But being private on like what you just said on some of the things with the narcissists involved and you protecting them, you gotta look at it like, would they do that same thing for you? No, I promise they're gonna file a police report on you in a heartbeat because they know they end game. For y'all that watch Avengers and all the stuff, the end game movie, their end game is to get you caught up so they can use all the stuff against you. And they're gonna say, well, you know what? If he's saying all this stuff or she's saying all this stuff, I've been beating him and all that, they never filed a police report. And it's true.
Right.
It is true. So they using what you didn't do to actually hurt you in the long run. So now you sitting back like, dang, I should have filed the last 3-4 times you beat me up. And it's hard for you to go back and, that's why I always talk about documentation, because documentation, whether it's at work, dealing with a narcissist, or at home, it's the same thing. It's documentation. I don't care if you put it down, writing it down, or you put it down on the phone, or can you record it? However you get it, documentation will help you out. And documentation, part of that is not just you writing it down, it's the police reports, it's the court orders, it's the protective orders. All that is documentation. We say documentation, we're talking about all that is documentation. It's just like when you go and buy a house, you need your bank reports, you need, your last paycheck stuff, you need all this documentation. They want to see and realize, okay, let me see if Solomon can buy this house. It's the same thing when you go to court. The judge is looking for a paper trail. So if you come in there saying, well, my husband beat me or my wife been beating me and cheating on me and stuff like that, okay, where's your proof? Proof is in the pudding, like they always say. Where's your proof? So now you're sitting there like, well, I didn't call because I ain't want to. If I'm the judge, I'm sitting there looking at you, I feel your pain and I feel for you, but this is the way the rules work. I need your paperwork. I need, show me something. You give me 3 or 4, I can work with something. Yeah. You come in there with nothing, I can't really help you if I'm the judge sitting there. And I'm not a lawyer or a judge, but I'm just telling you, I just believe the judge sitting there looking at, well, I can't really do anything, but you give me all these police reports and I got pictures of you being, nose broke, bloody, lip buck. Okay, I got pictures. I got 8-9 calls in 1 year alone. I have things from their work. Okay, now I got something I can work with. Okay, I can give you a 10-year protective order. I can give you this, that, and other. Matter of fact, you know what? I think this guy's violent. I'm going to go ahead and get a kiss to you because you have all this documentation. I think a lot of women, usually it's women, I'm going to go ahead and say it, usually it's women that want to protect even more. Men usually going to take off and be like, hey, I'm getting out of the situation. But women, like you said, women when they're in the military or it don't matter where their husband work at, and it don't matter what color they are. It's just when they married to somebody, they sit there and look at it like, well, that's my husband. That's the father of my kids. Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you, I'm a man. I ain't never hit a woman before, not one time. So all the men that's out there beating women, whatever, I ain't got nothing to tell you. So don't sit there and use that excuse. Well, that's my baby daddy. Okay, well, that's your baby daddy and he beat you. So what are you actually saying? So he's an abusive baby daddy. I don't get that when you think about it that way. So being private, what this helping you or hurting you, it just depends on how you're going to do it. But you have to look at the situation for what it is. And that first time it hits you should be the first time you call the police, the first time you get documentation. You shouldn't wait for the 8th time to do it. Because you're going to believe that's what a narcissist come in and they're going to lie. Well, I'm going to change. You just hit me the last 8 times. You didn't change nothing time. So I'm telling you, the first time they do it, go ahead and take some pictures. If you just take pictures of on your phone, because usually most phones go ahead the date and time stamp. You can take the picture, a selfie. Not the selfie you want to post, obviously, but you take that picture of the selfie and tell somebody, you reach out to somebody and say, hey, he hit me last night. I didn't call the cops, because some of y'all don't want to call. I understand that. I didn't call the cops, but he'll go to pictures in case something ever happened to my phone. You got the pictures. So the next time, maybe, this is the time you should go ahead and call the cops the second time. But again, y'all have to be, women are men too. We didn't got abused by women. You have to be willing to document this stuff and get the cops involved. All that stuff about why I want to get the police involved because they're a judge or they're a lawyer, they're a police officer. I get it. it's somebody you can go to. I promise we're going to take that case and be like, we can help you. So that's my, that's my thing on helping and hurting. You can be private, like you said, it can help and hurt you, but you're not telling, it's definitely going to hurt you. I can tell you that much. If I don't know nothing else, you not filing that police report, it's going to hurt you. You not filing that restraining order, it's going to hurt you. You not getting the order of protection, it's going to hurt you in the long run. And when I say hurt you, it could be you getting killed at the end of all this because you never want to, nobody know. I'm like, well, I thought they had, because people are going to put pictures on social media and say, their family has got it all together. They gonna show the nice car. They're gonna show the 3 little kids. They're gonna have their Easter gear on and stuff. And you think, oh, it's a nice, beautiful family. Every time I see them, they speak. They nice. The husband out there cutting the grass. They invited us over to eat. So they put on this front like they are the special, the best family in the world. Whenever somebody the best family in the world, it's a lot of holes in their arm and a lot of lies going on. They're not the best family in the world. Right. So anybody that puts on that front, I don't believe nothing they saying. I'm like, okay. Whenever they say they don't argue or any, I know I'm going on a rant, but I'm just saying it all goes to the same thing. So whenever they say that they never argue, oh, my husband, he don't do none of that cheating and all that. And I'm not saying all husbands, that's not what I'm saying, because I don't, but I'm just saying when they start saying all these things that never happened in the house, y'all argue. Man, shut up, argue. Nah, do we get in the fist fights? No, we don't. We have a little disagreement, but we come back, we adults, so we know how to come back and talk it out. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sleep upstairs and she's not going to sleep on the sofa. We go sleep in the same bed and we go fix what we got to fix. So you have to realize that you can't protect these people. You're protecting a grown man. I'm talking to when you're protecting a grown man from what? Most men can fend for themselves and go out and do things for themselves. In the Bible, they used to go out and hunt. They go out and get the food, go out and do, and a woman will cook it. Now, no, I'm not saying all women should be in the kitchen. Don't get that twisted. I know people watch YouTube. Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if the man is to protect and provide and doing these things, what you protecting them for? Let them protect themselves. How about that? How about y'all do that? Stop protecting them. How about y'all just let them do? If they get in trouble, they bought it on themselves. If they hit you and you call the cops and they get arrested, they bought it on themselves. If they hit you and you end up getting a divorce and they can't see their kids for a year, they bought it on themselves. So stop being private. Be lively. Be lively. Tell everything. Tell them. Get on social media. Get on everything. Just be live about it. Like, hey, hit me. Show an instant. Like, hey, I'm Facebook Live. I don't even do Facebook Live, but I'm Facebook Live. He just hit me. So that way thousands of people can see it. So you got a whole case that you just documented and everybody's seen it. So there you go. That's my take on that.
I know you did that right there. You did that. Yes. Everything you said. And like Tarika said, they dismiss cases all the time and then they end up hurt. Yes. Yeah. Yes, y'all. That is what we're trying to say. You can never underestimate narcissists. That's really what we're telling you. And like Solomon said, what was the last thing you said? You protecting someone. And that goes for women and men. You are protecting these people who want to harm you. If given the chance, they will throw you over the bus and they will put it in reverse and drive back over you over and over again. And you're talking about, well, I'm just protecting him in his livelihood, or I'm just protecting her. No. And really, you're really enabling them, okay? Because like I always say, in rock bottom, we find God. You cannot, if you enable a narcissist, you are enabling them from meeting God. And Sean Sugar Sean, I don't know if you remember that Bible verse that you told me. And now, I it's not in this book, it's in another one of my books. But bottom line, it was saying that really you have to allow people really to hit rock bottom so that they can find God. And when we do that and we try to shelter people and we try to, stop them from the consequences hitting them so hard, you are especially a narcissist, because a narcissist has a system built up so strategically where they always have somebody, to bounce off of. My ex used to say he had 9 lives, and it was almost like he wasn't lying. It's like, of course he doesn't really, but what he was saying was he is able to bounce back from these situations. And we know that's how narcissists think. They do not learn from their mistakes. They keep repeating the same situation over and over because they're always able to find pockets of people who will believe them and who will protect them, even though they have done the most horrendous things to people. So if you find yourself doing that, that will absolutely hurt you in the long run. And like Solomon, you said something, they are going to use what you didn't do against you. My ex did the same thing in court. I'm on one side, he's on the other, and he used all of my strengths against me. Oh, Your Honor, she's an officer in the military. She's strong, like using everything against me. Oh no, the way she is, look how outspoken she is. She would, if I hit her, she would have called the police, Your Honor. You know what I mean? But luckily, like you said, I documented things. So and then he ended up telling on himself. You know what I mean? But I was blessed. In other cases, some people are not going to be so blessed. It's just like you said, Solomon. You go in there, and then the judge actually, in some cases, they want to help you. But if you give them nothing to work on, then they're going to have to look at cases. We watch Dateline all the time. The DA wants to file charges against this person, but it's circumstantial evidence. And unless it's strong, it's not a murder trial. So, it seems like a murder trial to you because it's a murder trial of your spirit. You know what I mean? It is a murdering of your spirit, but they want to file charges in murder cases, and they are unable to do that. So why do you think in your case that you're just gonna go up there and be like, well, Your Honor, I didn't document anything. I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knows. Can you give me a restraining order now? No, sweetheart, it doesn't work like that. So you have to do everything you can to protect yourself. Absolutely. Okay, we hit that one out of the park. All right. The flying monkeys and enablers during the isolation. You going first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
I didn't really get bothered by the flying monkeys, and the reason why is because when I divorced her, I divorced the whole family, so I had no contact with them. And like I said before, I had no social media at the time, so it's nothing for me to go look. And I keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying this. Stop going on these people that you just divorced or broke up with or whatever, that we know narcissists and they're abusive and crazy. Stop going on their social media. Y'all remember that's what we say tonight. Just stop going there. You just hurting yourself. So so the enablers and all that, I mean, yeah, they out there. I mean, I know they are. If I see them in public, they might try to say something, but it's been going on over 4 years now. I haven't seen them. God just works things mysteriously and does things that we don't even know he's doing. Because now that I'm thinking about, now I'm saying this, I haven't seen none of them in 4 years. Think about that. I ain't seen nothing. I know everybody's situation is different. Some of y'all run into contact with these people because y'all in the same city. I understand that. But hey, I moved to Houston and things like that. So, and I know she had, matter of fact, the ex got family over here, but I ain't ran into now one of them. And I hold nothing against them, even though there was some enablers doing it. I can go back to a situation where I know there was an enabling the situation, because all y'all that heard the story of the old Honduras thing, well, guess what? The brother knew, a couple of cousins knew, you know what I'm saying? So they knew. So those the enablers and the flying monkeys right there. And they was gaslighting me the whole time. Now that I think about it, but it's in a different stage of the process. I wasn't able to understand that I was dealing with a narcissist. I just thought, like I said, most men would say the woman is crazy. So me being most men, I thought the one was crazy. It wasn't until later on that I realized, no, she's a narcissist, and half her family is something wrong with them. So that's what it is. So the enablers and flying monkeys, they was there the whole time. I just didn't know what I was dealing with. And I think a lot of us don't know or don't realize that these people that you think are friendly, they always, up in your face, smiling in your face. You gotta watch them people, because if they wasn't I can tell you this. Let's say you marry somebody and then become best friends with the sister or something like that, or the brother. All of a sudden y'all friends. You gotta watch them, because you get too close and you start telling them information that you probably shouldn't tell. And I think a lot of people get caught up with that. They telling these people this information, and then guess what? You think they ain't gonna tell their brother or their sister? You really think they that cool? They blood related. You really think they that cool that they're not gonna tell their brother or sister, hey, oh, buddy cheated on you? Now, some cases you have this idiot, they probably won't tell. That's just the dumb flying monkey, I call it. They just dumb as I don't know what. And they might not tell. But yeah, the flying monkeys and enablers, I mean, they, what I'm saying, they everywhere, especially in the workplace. We see them all the time. But in different situations, like, husband, wives, yes, you're going to run into them in these different stages. And you have to be sitting back. And I mean, it's one of the things, everything is like all these channels. Keep going back to this. The channels like Tonya, Just Say No to Narcs, Joy, my channel, Shannon channel. Everybody got a channel that they have a channel here that come here. No Narcs and all these people. Everybody give you all the ammunition you need. They give it to you. If you watch these videos, you have all the ammunition you need. It's like a soldier getting ready for war. I know I used to have 10 magazines, but y'all that don't know, when I was in the army, I went to Iraq. Anytime I went outside the gate, I had 10 magazines on me. That's a lot of weight. So I had my test plates on, my back plate. Shannon can attest to this. I had all that on. I had 10 magazines. Each magazine, I should say, carried 30 rounds, but I always put 28 because of the space. It's another story. Anybody shot guns know you don't fill it all the way up. So each magazine had 28 rounds. So remember, I had 28 rounds, 10 magazines, and I carried what they call an M203. So I had a grenade launcher on me. So when I went outside the wire, I had 2 illumination rounds that'll be on my chest. They heavy. And I had some HE rounds, which is high explosive. And I had some smoke rounds. So depending on the situation, I had red, yellow, and green smoke in case we had to call a helicopter. But what I'm telling you is I was prepared for anything, any situation. While I was at nighttime, I had my illumination. If I needed to blow up a building, I had HE rounds. If I just needed to shoot back at somebody that shot a sniper, I had 10 magazines full, and I actually used to carry 3 in my bag. So I actually had 13 magazines full of ammo. So I was ready for a mini war. So it's the same thing when y'all dealing with these narcissists. We give y'all ammunition right here on this video, on Tonya video that she shares through the Bible. God give you all this ammunition in the Bible. You have to suck up all this like a sponge and go out there and be like, okay, I'm ready. I know I got to document. I know I got to have all this stuff. I know these flying monkeys gonna come. I know the smear campaign. It's like when it's like I said before, when you know the end of the movie already, I already know what's gonna happen. I just got to get through the end of the movie because I already know what's gonna happen at the end. I might have forgot some things in there, you know what I'm saying, in the movie, and I'll be like, oh, I forgot about it, but I got you. So that's my whole take on that. You got all the ammunition, everything you need on different videos. How about you just go out there and just get ready for war? Stop feeling down on yourself. Stop saying that, there's no way you can do it. I've done it. Shannon done it. I'd say we doing it. Just say no, Tonya, she's doing it. Look at what Tonya doing. Look at her channel. Look at how she's growing and just doing things, reaching different people and change. I love what she's doing. Look at what Pink Girl teaches, what Joy's doing. Look what they doing. Just look at what they're doing and look at their teachings and just look at the people that's drawn into them for what reason? Because they can relate to that. Same thing they got on this channel right now. They can relate to what we're saying. So if you got all the ammunition, how about you watch a couple of these different videos from I don't care what channel. I'm never one to say, oh no, watch just this channel. I don't care what channel you go to. You need to get help and healing, however you need to get it. Amen. So when these fine monkeys and enablers messing with you, you sitting back like, I'm already ready. Come on with the smear campaign. I'm ready. Come on with it. I already got my documentation. I'm ready for court. You ready for war. Just remember that you ready. You got to get prepared for war. So whatever Bible you got, King James, NLT, whatever they got, read that Bible app, get your ammunition ready. Ammunition meaning documentation, police reports, protective orders. You want to have all that. So when you go into court, you just dropping the whole thing down like, wham. You almost don't need an attorney because it's like, the judge gonna look at this like, well, okay. The flying monkeys and all, they can do whatever they want, but we can get rid of all them too. I'll get restraining order on each one of them. So that's my take on that.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. No, you hit that out the park. Yeah, those flying monkeys and enablers during the isolation, it hurts. But like Karen said, a couple of people up there say it just clears the path, really. And it's gonna hurt, like I always say, because you're gonna find out in this time who's really your friend. And Solomon, you summed that up so well. I mean, you can watch all the channels you want to watch, but if you don't apply what we are saying to your life, we've had to apply this. We continuously apply this. Like someone did a message on when the narc calls you out of the blue. That was something that he had just went through. But we're sharing this so that when it happens to you, we're telling you, if you're just in the beginning stages, we're talking about the obsessive thoughts. We're talking about how it's going to feel against the world. We're talking about the wilderness. We're talking about the desperation and isolation. We're talking about how being a private person helps and hurts you. Okay, we're talking about these things for a reason because it is going to happen. If you notice, out of all these stories, we all have so many different stories, so many different aspects. But one thing that you can count on is a narcissist being a narcissist. Okay. And if you think that your narcissist, I hate when that your narcissist, I don't like that because I'm not binding myself to no narcissist. But if you think that your narcissist is going to be the special one that just does something totally different, if you think that your narcissist, you're going to be able to co-parent and not counter-parent like Joy and Adriana say. And Joy says, if you think that your narcissist, you're going to be able to love your narcissist, and your narcissist is special, and your narcissist is going to be the one that just breaks the mold. I'm here to tell you, you're setting yourself up for failure. So we are telling you these things because these are things that we know to be true. The flying monkeys. And Solomon, you hit on something good when you said about the sister, because I was that person and I had to repent from that. And you know, when somebody would come to me and say, you know, the family member is abusing me now, and I can't, and I guess to be totally honest, I would tell the girlfriends to leave. I'm like, leave him. I don't care if that's my family. Like, leave him. And they're like, no, you know, well, I'm just okay. Then what you coming to me for? What do you want me to do? You want me to come up here and tell you that he beating on you? You just want me to be like, no, what do you want me to do? I can't keep hearing about this. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna do anything about it for yourself. So, and some people are like that. You're absolutely right. Now, I think I was kind of different, but you cannot trust the family members either. Okay, the family knows. They know that 9 times out of 10, they know that their family member, there is something wrong with them. Okay, they know it. In the back of my mind, I knew it was something wrong with my family. I didn't have the words. I didn't know. But I would tell the young ladies, hey, you in danger, girl. Like, you need to get away. But you have some people who all they're going to do is run back. And if you think the narcissist family is your friend, 9 times out of 10, they're not. There will always usually be a person, 1 or 2, that sees things, you know, and that's usually going to be the scapegoat later on. But 9 times out of 10, they're going to go back and tell what you said. Okay. And they're going to turn it against you. So you have to be careful when you want to remain friends with the family. Like Solomon said, usually you have to cut them off because they don't see what you see. Okay. So, and Karen says something else about it being in Hawaii is mandatory. Yeah. So when I filed a report, even if I wanted to take it back, I couldn't. So that is a good thing. And I wish most states did that, but a lot of states don't do that. Once you file it in Hawaii, you can't say, oh no, because the state is prosecuting that person. It's not you prosecuting that person, it's the state. So like in my case, it was the state of Hawaii against, you know, my ex. It wasn't me. I'm out of it now. I gave my evidence over to the state. So now it's up to the state to do what they have to do to prosecute this person or not. Okay, and in some states, you can sign it away. You can go in there and say, this person abused me, and then like, I take it back. So I like Hawaii. Hawaii didn't play with abuse once I came out and told. Hawaii was on it. So I love me some Hawaii. Before we go to the next pictures, the next thing I want to show this by Love Peace. Narc show all happy pictures in court and said not abused. They absolutely do. Silence hurts you and protects the narc. God has not given the spirit of fear. Document and report. So we don't know anything else. We know to document. My soon to be and living well. Your situation is a very tough one. It's a police officer, right? So you see what we're saying. Your silence help, and especially if it's a police officer, they have access to things that most people do not have access to. So you really, we got to pray. So y'all make sure we are praying. As somebody, I think it was Love Peace, we have to pray. When we see these stories, write these people's names down, write people's names down. And when you pray, you keep these people uplifted in prayer, okay? Because if it's 30 people on this line or whatever, and we all pray and we all uplift living well and love peace, and everybody that's going through this, the prayers of the righteous availeth much, okay? So I don't care what that narcissist is doing behind closed doors. We know that God, like Tanya said, God has not given you the spirit of fear, okay? So I'm so glad. After speaking with Shannon, I filed a TP on Friday against all. Yay, I didn't read that part. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And I know that was hard. I know it's hard, but you know, God placed us in each other's paths for a reason, you know, and I'm glad something resonated with you. Okay, so and we'll get to a couple more questions and then we'll go through the comments. The Hoover. Solomon, you recently were Hoovered. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. I don't know why things been happening to me the last couple of weeks. I don't know. First the phone call, then the Hoover, you know, around what was that, Valentine's Day around that? We don't celebrate Valentine's Day for y'all that don't know. We don't celebrate none of those holidays, but yeah, it's around that time though. Got the Hoover, the phone call and text messages and stuff. I'm like, trying to figure out, didn't think it was, I didn't see it coming. I seen the phone call. That's why I did the video, like Shannon said. So the way I'm doing things now, as soon as something happened, I already just put a video out about it because I'm not the only one I know going through this. Somebody else is going through this or going to go through this. So yeah, so I did the video about the what to do, when the Narc calls you out the blue. But then after that, it was a couple other, text messages and things came. I'm like, that's what we doing, huh? I ain't talked to you in months, but just out the blue text and think everything's gonna be hunky dory is the word I like to use. Everything's gonna be just good to go, I guess. But I'm just in a different phase. So that Hoover, I'm not gonna sit there and say it didn't affect me. It affects me, but it was just a little. And the reason why I said it because I was predicting something was going to happen at some point, so I just was waiting for it. Now, I might have caught me off guard. The phone call caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie, caught me off guard because it was from a number I didn't know. So yes, that caught me off guard. But I still handled it. I didn't get into a fussing match. I just pretty much was the hang-up phase, and that's pretty much what happened. And then after that, with the Hoover, with the text messages and things like that, I'm sitting there like, okay. Didn't really expect it. I knew it was coming at some point, didn't know when, but again, I handled it. I didn't respond to it. So, you got to look at these, something, like I said, you got to pick your battles. So even though I'm ready for war, like I just told y'all in the last question, I got all this gear on and stuff, guess what? Sometimes we have what they call rules of engagement. I'm going back to the war situation when I was in Iraq. So rules of engagement, it changes. But I remember one particular time when we was in Iraq, our rules of engagement was, and it sucked, I didn't like it, was we could not shoot back unless we knew where the enemy was that shot us. So basically what these idiots used to do, they would shoot when there was a sniper or a person on the ground and hurry up and throw the gun down so we couldn't shoot back at them. So it's only a couple of times where we actually was able to shoot back because the rules engaged, like I said, what it is. So the same thing with this, like, okay, if they see your text out the blue or they call you out the blue, your rules of engagement should be like through that whole process should be probably the same. I'm no contact. I'm gray rock. I'm not giving you nothing. So if you keep them same rules of engagement, don't change them. Don't do like the military did and alter the rules of engagement. Keep yours the same. Keep your boundaries the same. So that therefore it can be 3 years later and they try to call you out the blue. Oh no, it's a block number. Hold on, click, hang up. So it's still the same. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you hear that voice, you pick up the phone. They do call from a number you don't know. You think it's somebody, and you hear that voice. Boom, hit that red button. In call, and then block that number too. So your rules of engagement should be the same. No matter if you're at war like I was in Iraq, but we talking about with the Narcissist, your rules of engagement should stay the same all throughout the entire, from here until the end of time is what I'm saying. Now, if God comes in and changes your mind and tells you to go out and talk to this person, I know I'm gonna question it. I'm like, God, you sure you want me to talk to this person? I ain't talked to him in a few years. You showed us the person. Okay, I'm gonna do it because you God, but just want to make sure. I'm gonna ask Shannon too to make like God told me to talk to. But anyway, I'm just saying. So you got to realize that I'm saying that your rules of engagement should stay the same throughout this whole process you dealing with this narcissist. So just remember that. Keep your rules of engagement, your boundaries. Keep your gray rock method up. Keep your no contact up the whole time. I don't care if it's 3, 4, 20, 30, 40 years, whatever the case is. Just keep that same energy. Like they say, I want you to have that same energy, that you had when you was cursing me out and telling me I was stupid. Like Shannon said, he's telling me I was stupid 2 years ago. I want you to have the same energy when I see you. You had the same energy. Don't try to make it seem like, now that I done made it, I done made something for myself. Now we friends. No, it's like I tell y'all in a workplace, I always go into a new job that none of us are friends. We all co-workers. Now, do friendships form out of that? Yes, they might. But for the most part, no, they don't. I keep it like that. Now go back to that question that we had earlier about the private person. So I keep that same energy at work. We're not friends. We co-workers. I just talk to you and we keep it moving. We don't go out to eat. We probably don't exchange phone numbers. You ain't got to tell me nothing about your wife because I don't want to meet her anyway, so it really don't matter. So I don't want to meet your kids. Not that I'm evil. It's like I don't want to establish those friendships because especially if I'm the manager, I don't need to be, it's the same thing in the military. I don't need to frat with y'all and hang out with y'all because then you're not going to use the opportunity. Well, Solomon was out there drinking with us. You know what I'm saying? What kind of manager? You're not going to catch me like that. Nah. Again, the rules of engagement going to stay the same. So every job that I had, the rules of engagement was the same. No friends. We're going to keep it surface level, and that's what I'm going to do. So it's the same down with the narcissist. We going through a divorce. That's fine. I divorce you, your daughter, your sons, your mama, your daddy, your cousin. Oh, that cousin I never met too. They walk up to me, man, you was married to. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I ain't never met you then. I don't need to meet you now. What I'm meeting you for? So again, when you go in court, I think we need to start saying, when you go in there and you file for divorce, Your Honor, I want to divorce such and such. You should add on, I want to divorce him, whole family. Can I do that? Can I file that? And file that motion that I can file. I can name everybody that I know, that all the cousins, the in-law, all that. Can I file a divorce for everybody? That way, we all divorce and we all know we divorced. So when we see each other in public, we good. I'm divorcing you, right? Yeah, we good. Okay. And you can get a temporary restraining order on all of them too. The enablers and the flying monkeys. Get it, get restraining orders on all of them. If it could work like that. But that's something I might try to do. Next time I go through something, just go ahead and oh, okay. Yeah. I get another job and pray God I don't. But if I do, I just divorce the job. Everybody I don't want to talk to none of y'all.
Yeah.
My bad, y'all. I'm just.
No, that's good. You're talking good. You're right. And for some people, that's hard, but it's necessary. It is so necessary, especially when dealing with a narcissist. Your mind, it is so confusing because your mind and your heart are not in alignment. Okay. Your mind wants to say one thing and your heart it's pulling at your heartstrings. Oh, this person I spent 10, 20, 30 years with this person. Oh, this person is my mother. Oh, this person is my friend. Your heart and alignment in your mind are not, they're fighting each other. But what does God tells us about our heart? In Jeremiah 17:10, it says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? The Lord searched the heart. I try the reins and even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruits of his doing. So that Bible verse tells us everything in a nutshell, okay? Especially when dealing with the narcissist. You are going to want to guard your heart. Because before, our heart wasn't guarded with certain people, okay? So like Solomon said, those boundaries, you hit that the boundaries. You have to, the rules of engagement, it has to, as soon as you hear that narcissist voice, and it's tricky because it catches you off guard. But if you think about it, God really was trying to tell you that this was about to happen. And I know for me, and I don't know if it's prophetic, I don't know what it is. Some of you, if you're empathetic, you're probably empathic, you're probably the same way. Before certain things happen, God will give me an indicator of something that is about to happen. And I'll be like, I tell Solomon, or I'll write it in my journal, or I'll do a voice memo. And I'll be like, okay, on this date, God said this. And do you know something that will come to pass? Okay. And he'll tell me, okay, something is about to happen. Pay attention. And like with Solomon, I think he was trying to tell him that he was being Hoover. Those are spirits. Those are monitoring and hoovering spirits. And he was really trying to prepare you, Solomon, for what was about to happen. And lo and behold, you received that Hoover from that narcissist. And some people try to say, oh, you manifested that. We ain't with that, okay? We think that is from God, okay? God tries to tell us certain things. We don't pray to the universe. We pray to the one that created the universe, okay? So yes, strong people do not allow their emotions to control them, all right? And that doesn't mean that you become heartless. That just means you guard your heart, that you have boundaries, okay? And I have friends and people who still want to be friends with narcissists once they know that they are narcissists. That is not for me, because narcissists have tried to destroy me. So why would I be friends with somebody who is a narcissist once I know that they're a narcissist? That's not my area. I'm not delivered like that. That's not my realm of expertise right there. Okay. But I like what you said about that. So you're going to have to hang up when you hear it. Don't be trying, because it's going to trigger you. Because it's going to trigger you. You're going to, it's going to catch you off guard most of the time. You know what I mean? But already have your plan of action. When I hear that voice, what you want to hear? You don't want to allow that into your spirit, because they have nothing good to say. Oh, I just want to hear what they're going to say. I want to see if they miss me. Oh, I want to see, because part of you, you're going to have to really pray over that part of you that wants to be hoovered by the narcissist. Some people want to be hoovered by the narcissist. Some people want to know if does the narcissist miss me? Does the narcissist think about me? What? I don't know. I don't have that in me. I don't care. I've never cared, and I think I know that is a gift from God. I don't care if a narcissist miss me. I don't care what a narcissist is doing. Like Solomon said, once once God shows me who you are, it's like a done deal, and it is. It's a done deal with you and your family. Okay, I don't have to hold on to any of you because I understand that this is war. And maybe, I don't know, Solomon, maybe that's that military mindset. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but it's something, and it is a blessing. So absolutely. That Hoover, let's go to this one. That Hoover is gonna come, but you just have to be prepared for it. Okay, I think we kind of hit on this, how the flying monkeys work to keep you isolated with the smear campaign. And I think we hit on this. How do you navigate the smear campaign? You want to hit on that?
I mean, briefly. I mean, to me, like it's like I said a while ago. I'm not repeating myself, but I know people go watch the rerun, or people that's live. Thank y'all for being live again. But the smear campaign, it's like I said, we giving you all this ammunition. When I say we, I'm not just talking about me and Shannon. I'm talking about everybody that has a channel that's talking about narcissists. And you watch that channel, they giving you all the ammunition you need. They telling you, because some of y'all are preparing to go through a divorce. You know, you haven't did it yet. You know something wrong, so you're preparing. So if you're preparing to go through a divorce, or preparing to leave your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever the case is, you go watch some of these videos. Oh, wait, what is a smear campaign? What is Gray Rock? What is no contact? So the smear campaign is like, I know it's coming. So, okay, I need to be prepared that some of the family members that I know and hold, they telling me, Tanya then told me that some of these people aren't going to be my friend. They're going to smear campaign. Joy has told me that. Shannon has told me that. Solomon has told me. Different people has told me that. If that many people saying it, it got to be true. I mean, they all saying it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so I need to be sitting back waiting for the smear campaign. So to me, the smear campaign is kind of comical because I know it's going to happen. I'm not 5 years old, like I said before. So you can't get me with that. You know, it was a lie, it's a lie. And the people that believe it, you make it easy. I think Karen had said that earlier.
She did.
You make it easy for us because when you start believing them, like she said, that means my Christmas list just got shorter. You know, that's what she said. I don't celebrate Christmas, but my Christmas list short anyway because I don't celebrate it. But I'm just saying. So I mean, but when people that celebrate these holidays or whatever, you just making it easy. So you go. I want you to go believe the narcissist. Now I know what because me, I want to know. Like Shannon said too. She said this before. I want to know what side of the line you on. You on the evil side or you on the good side? And that's what it comes down to. I'm on God's side. So what side you on? Like Shannon said too. Who sent you? So my thing is with the smear campaign, I want you to believe it. Because the people that believe it, I ain't gotta rock with you no more. So I'm good. I can get rid of y'all. And then I can replace, God is gonna, not me, God can replace you with Adrena Monet's, with Tanya's, with Joy's, with Natitia's, with Karen's, I can go down this list. Everybody's in this room with Tarkers, with Sean Sugar Sean, everybody in this room. But look how many people I lost. This was now that I'm thinking about this, doing the smear campaign and stuff like that. I only lost it wasn't a lot of people, but God replaced all them, then some, like tenfold. Look at all the people that I'm friends with now that I call family. So come on with the smear campaign. I'm glad to get rid of all y'all. So when all these blessings come through and this stuff takes off, and I'm sitting, I can still go reach out to Tony, because that's just the type of person I am. I'm still going to reach out to Tonya, no matter how big I get or how successful I get. I'm still going to reach out to Tonya. And Tonya is the same way. You can just tell, you can see it in her energy. I never met the woman in person, but you just see it. Same thing with Joy and different people are dreaming and stuff. Like the people that don't rock with me, I want you to believe that smear campaign, because when God comes down with these blessings, that's the same people I want to come out there and hold out their hand. I can slap that sucker down and be like, high five. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. Oh, you wanted some money? Oh, my bad. I ain't got none. I'm broke. I'm broke like you thought I was broke last time. Just whatever it is. Remember all them lies you told them? This is the lie. I'm broke. That's the lie. Nah, go tell that. Run tell that. Like Martin said on that old thing. Run tell that.
Yeah. So, and okay, okay, God. Yes, and I do agree with that. But just like Joshua, God will work on, their heart. Some of them who aren't reprobate, he will bring some of them back around. And I've been a flying monkey, and I've had to go back and apologize to people. I've had to go back because that's another thing we didn't talk about, Solomon. After you get out of this isolation, after you are isolated, because the narc is going to isolate you. They are going to isolate you from your friends. They're going to start to lay seeds about, people who are closest to you, because their goal is to make sure again, like I said, they don't want you to have anybody. So they're going to make it where you start to isolate yourself from your friends or plant little seeds about your friend. I think your friend is jealous of you, you know. You know what? I don't know if is he really your friend? You know, if it's a woman, is that your, or he tried to talk to me. He tried to hit on me, you know, and it might have been the other way around. So their goal is really to isolate you. And I like what Karen said, what you said about making your Christmas list short. It absolutely does. Like that Geico commercial says, I saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. You can save hundreds of dollars by going no contact. I'm like, whoa, I have a lot of money. Like, look at this. Isn't God good? You know, because you're no longer casting your pearls to swine. You cut that soul tie. You have to cut that soul tie, especially after the isolate or when you're going through the isolation or after you come out of that. It is so important to cut that soul tie. You will save hundreds of dollars by going no contact, if not thousands. I'm here to tell you, I'm a witness. Yes, Hoovers are absolutely dangerous. Let's see what else. Yes.
I like that one.
And this is something, Solomon, the narcissist will use death, current events, catastrophes, fear, shame, and guilt to keep you in bondage. And you best believe, now some people are going to call and check on you. They're going to be genuine. But a narcissist, I know in my case, when Kobe died, when somebody died, they was like, oh, see, this is why we have to, this is why, what did they say? Something. This is why you just got to forgive and let it go. What they were trying to do was lure me back in with fear. And this is also something that God had to show me, because some of you are going to go through this. When the narcissist parent or somebody like that gets sick, okay, or when the narcissist gets older, okay, you're going to feel like, well, dang, they're getting older. Maybe I should just stay in contact with them. You know, the narcissists, especially the narc mother, the narc parents, they love to use guilt, fear, and shame to keep you in bondage. That is to keep you. So now they've really groomed you to take care of them all of your life. Now you're going to feel like you're indebted to take care of them because they were the vessel that brought you into this world. That is not of God. And so many people will take care of narcissistic parents. Now, if God is telling you that's something different, okay? Always listen to the Holy Spirit. But one thing that God has shown me, I did not call you to take care of narcissistic demons, okay? Some people, they have made their bed in it and they have to lie on it, okay? Don't go try to rescue a narcissist. You know, this is what he's told me. He might tell you something different. You go to the Holy Spirit and allow him to lead you. But this is what he's shown me. And he's taken away that guilt and that fear. Oh, well, you know, they're getting older. Oh, well, you know, oh, somebody died today. See, that's why you should be in touch with your family, because see, they died. And see, that could happen to your narcissistic family member. So that's why you should stay in contact with them. No. Don't allow fear, guilt, and shame to keep you in bondage to a narcissist. That is an ungodly soul tie. Anybody that is seeking to control you and manipulate you, you have an ungodly soul tie with them. And I had to break the soul tie even with my family. I had an ungodly soul tie with them. And that's why some of you can't. That's why another reason why you have those ruminating thoughts, because you haven't broken the soul tie. You have to break it up in the spiritual realm so that physically and physiologically you can, you know, start to get back to yourself. All right. Start to bring those thoughts into captivity. But as long as you have that soul tie there, you have a connection to them. You are in covenant with them. Even though the narcissists, I don't care if they go to church every Sunday and twice on Wednesday, they are in covenant with the enemy. Okay. And if you are in covenant with a narcissist, by default, I don't know if you can be in covenant with God. Okay, so that's something that you're going to have to work out and seek God for, because narcissists, I don't care what they say, they are doing the work of the enemy. They are not in covenant with God. And if you have a soul tie with them, okay, seek God and see what he says about that. That's why it's so important to break that soul tie. All right. So what do you think about them using death, current events, catastrophes, fear, guilt, and shame?
I mean, that's just a tactic. That's an enemy tactic, enemy ploy. I keep using war terminology, but I think a lot of people can relate to that, whether you're in the military or not, or seeing any kind of war movie. That's just something they're going to use. It's a scare tactic. I'm going to instill fear in you and hopefully get you to a situation where you will be in a place to come back home or come to our side. Basically, you come in. You ever seen the movie Behind Enemy Lines? So you want to go behind enemy lines and go to the enemy side. Whatever. I mean, okay. Well, my thing to them when they say things like that, well, what if she died? What if he died? What if I die? Now, how about that? What if I die? So you want to talk about death? What if I die? A lot of people want to talk about death, but that's what I asked them. I'm like, what if I die? I don't want to hear that about, what if she died? What if he died? Or, that's your mom, that's your dad, that's your brother, that's your sister, cousin, whatever it is. And they tell you these things. Okay, and that's all you got. And I mean, so I hate to be simple like that, but it's the truth. It's and so. I mean, so what are you trying to say? So all the abuse and all the narcissistic abuse and everything that happened to my life, we just go shuck that to the side. We're gonna forget about all that stuff and say, no, that never happened. But because this is who this person is to you, you gotta love them. I love you from afar, like Shannon said earlier. I let go and let God. Now, and then we can just end that. So all the other stuff that you can come with, again, these are tools that we're giving. So you got to know that this is going to come. They're going to try these different tactics. Well, we say the mom is going to die, or, she's getting older, or the dad is going to die. They're getting older, things like that. I can get them to come back in. And a lot of times it does work. It'll reel you right back in. And guess what? You're right back in square one. And why? Because you believe the flying monkey, because the flying monkey enabler is telling you this to get you back into the narcissist grip. And now you basically in a death trap right now. So now I'm gonna ask you, what if you die? Because now you putting yourself back in. Before you had 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot out. Now you got 2 feet in the grave because you back over there with the narcissist. So what are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to say that, well, I know some things now, so I'm stronger? Yeah, but the devil got different tactics that can trick you up too. So are you really stronger, or are you just being stupid? It's another day. It's not strong. You being stupid because you think that, by you knowing what you know and going back into the lines, then the lion not going to attack you. Last time I checked, a lion is an animal, and they still go attack you no matter who you are and what kind of training you did to them. So you go ahead back in the lion den if you want to, and think, the lion, I can tame them. Yeah, the lion 900 pounds and looking to kill just like the doggone. So the lion, in this reference, y'all don't understand, the lion is the narcissist. So you go back in there and go ahead and pet the lion and see if it don't bite your doggone arm off. So that's my take on that. So you can come with the little ploys that get older. I understand. I get it. Guess what? I'm getting older. They getting older. We all getting older. We all go die at some point. We all pray. I'm gonna take the bounce. I was about to say we all pray and hope we go to heaven. Some of us don't even care because they narcissists, so they don't really care what he had. They didn't made they deal with the devil, so they made their deal. They got their lifetime deal that, hey, you gonna be able to get away with things and you be able to be evil with people, and the devil telling them he got them. The devil don't care nothing about you, just like the narcissist don't care about you either. So that's why I'm happy with that. So
yeah, and you brought up a good point. You worried about them, but they're not worried about you. You worry about people who are not concerned about you. And I'm not saying that to be heartless. We are not saying any of this to be heartless, but you really got to sit there and examine. A lot of people go back into bondage. And I see this a lot, Solomon. I see this a lot on like horror and stuff. They'll be like, well, my mother's a narcissist, my dad's a narcissist. And I went back, I broke no contact. And I went back, they went back into the lion's den, into the devil's den, thinking that, oh, now I'm armed with all of this information. Now I know enough about narcissists that I can go in there and I can tamper with the devil. Now I'm so smart and I'm so guarded that now I can go in there and tame. Now I can tame my mother. Now I can tame my father because now I know everything about narcissists. But do you know the devil has tricks that you don't know about? That's really like almost testing God. Like, God, I know, like, I'm gonna go back in here. I broke this soul tie and I'm gonna get myself reattached to this umbilical cord. I'm gonna get myself reattached to this soul tie. You're gonna save me, right? God got me. God ain't tell you to go back into that devil's den. God is not gonna send you into the devil's den. Okay. So absolutely, that's a very good point, Solomon. It's going back into the lion's den, thinking that you are going to tame the lion. And how many times have we seen that, like on those videos with the circus? You know, and when the tiger go tiger, and people like, oh, they should have shot the tiger. Wow, the tiger is doing what the tiger does. The snake is doing what the snake is supposed to do. And you think because you know, oh, I know all about this snake now. I'm ready for this type of snake, that I can combat this snake. And this snake is like, and then when it bites you, you like, dang. Now you feel even worse than the first time. Now you in guilt and shame because you knew that the snake was a snake. You knew that the tiger was a tiger. And now, because of societal pressure, people telling you, oh, go back and call your mama. Go and call you. You know that's your mama. That's just how she is. And you knowing what you know, they don't know what you know. So you have to stand guarded on what you know. Stay rooted in what you know. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. We do, I think we got one more. We have one more. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what we were saying. Let's see. Let's go back. So that was all the questions. Sophie. Yes, Sophie, I can tell you going through it a little bit. Yes. We're gonna really be praying for you. You visited Philly. I saw my daughter, never told my mother I was even there, did not want to see her. It's like that sometimes. And don't feel guilty about that. You know what you know. A lot of times we will gaslight ourselves. We'll gaslight ourselves. Well, maybe I should just go back. The family wants me to do this. It's not the family dealing with this. It's you. So you have to stand on what you know. Lady B said, we can't do nothing but pray for them. Amen. That's it. That is it. I don't worry about them. I'm enjoying the wilderness. And you should. It's peaceful. The wilderness is peaceful. Solomon, anything you want to say about any of the wilderness? Let's see what we covered. The wilderness, the isolation. You won't know who to trust. Oh, talk on that. And then we'll wrap it up. Talk on that. Knowing who to trust and have that feeling of not knowing who to trust while you're going through this.
Yeah, I mean, it's the situation where, like you said, is you don't know who to trust. But I know one person that we all can trust and we should trust, and that's God. So it's real simple. You can't depend on man for anything. And we're talking about narcissists, and I know we talk about the narcissists, and they all evil. I'm not gonna sit there and say I met a good narcissist, because I haven't. So you can't trust, if you can't trust man, and then we're saying the narcissist is demonic. What are we doing? How many of y'all trust demons? Raise your hand. I got my hands down because I ain't even put my hands up, because it wasn't a trick question. I mean, it's simple. How many of y'all trust demons? You got to think. Sometimes I got to break things down all the way down to like kid-like levels and just ask the simple question: how many of y'all trust demons? And I don't think none of us do. So why would you trust a narcissist when we all say they are demonic in nature and spirit and everything? So when it's the narcissist and anybody that's related to the narcissist, when I say related, anybody associated with the narcissist, like we said earlier, the people that take the narcissist side, like Shannon said, y'all just collateral damage, y'all by default. So when I divorced the narcissist, the whole family, friends that came into that we was friends with in a relationship, I'm divorcing all y'all. I'm deleting all y'all numbers. I don't need to talk to none of y'all, any of y'all. None of y'all can be trusted, because I don't know what information you still sharing. I don't know how close you are to the narcissist. I don't care how close you are to the narcissist. And it's crazy, but that's the thing. I don't care. So I'm not choosing to trust anyone going in when I'm in that situation. You can't. And I advise y'all, if you're in that situation and you're going through that stage, don't trust nobody. You got that person that run up and saying that, hey man, I used to be friends with such and such, and I know y'all went through some bad terms, but I want to be your buddy. I don't have buddies, so we good. We keep moving. I have family and I have friends. So you trying to be my buddy, you can keep moving. You trying to be a friend all of a sudden, and I don't know you too well, but I know you used to hang around. Don't trust them people. Don't trust them, because like we just said, the analogy we just used with the snakes and the tiger, That's gonna be the person that's gonna stab you in the back this time because you let them in your inner circle. Remember, our circles, like I said, they didn't got smaller since I started talking about God and talking about narcissists. Circle just small. So anybody trying to poke holes in that circle, I gotta be real careful and be like, wait, hold on. Who, like Shannon, who sent you? So don't trust these people that are just coming in and talking about, you know, they now they want a piece of the pie because they see you doing something. And that's what happened. I think that's what happening is that's why you shouldn't trust them, because if you do have a YouTube channel, or you just bought a new car, or you just bought a new house, or you dating somebody new, and all of a sudden these people coming around, I call it they sniffing. You want to see what's going on? Nah, I ain't cooking nothing over here. You can't smell what I ain't cooking nothing. So get out of here. So don't trust none of these people. Don't watch your circles. Keep your circle small. Your circle might be only 2 or 3 people. Oh well, I got God and I got 2 or 3 people. God gonna send me the other family that I need. So the people that get moved out, let them keep moving. Don't trust. I'm telling you, don't trust. That's why you make a mistake. That you want to be human and you want to be likable and you want to love everybody. You can't love everybody. You can have love for them, but you can't love everybody. I don't know everybody in the world to love them, so I'm just gonna sit there and tell you. So I can't love everybody. I can't be cool with everybody because everybody don't want to be cool with me. Some people want to be cool with me just so they can kill me. So
yeah, and God calls us to love everybody. That doesn't mean that you let everybody in your inner circle. I think we confuse love and, you know, some of the commandments, we confuse them. That does not mean that you continuously allow people who have shown themselves to you just in your circle, just continue to abuse you, continue. That's what I thought was. I thought love and abuse could coexist. And that's not love. God already said, you know, he lined up his standard is the standard for love. And if somebody's abusing you and mistreating you and gossiping, you know, about you, that's definitely not love. Okay. So love, he said, yes, break those soul ties and break the chains that keep us in bondage. Absolutely. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap it up. The final points that I have to say, thank you, Sam. This was such a good, needed conversation. We talked about the isolation, the desperation, just things that, and we might not cover everything, you know, but we tried to hit on the key points that you are going to go through, and that things that those of us who have already been through it, that you can relate to. So if you're in it, just stay focused. Okay. You have to stay focused and know that your current situation, that's not your outcome. All right. It's the wilderness, the isolation, the desperation. It's going to feel like your heart is breaking. Okay. Because your soul has been ensnared. Your soul has been attached to a demonic force. Okay. To a demonic spirit. So that's why narcissist relationships are unlike any relationship that you will ever encounter. So you have to remember that the healing process is going to be different, because this situation is different. Whereas before you might have could get over somebody quickly, but this right here, this is going to be work. Okay. So your mind and has to be really strong in the Lord, because you cannot do this in your own strength. All right. So, and remember that those who live in their emotions, if you live in your emotions with a narcissist, you're going to always be at their disposal. Okay. So while your feelings are valid, they can be deceptive. And another way to get over the ruminating thoughts is you want to make sure that you have a journal. And when you are triggered, when that CPTSD, we didn't go too deep on that. We may do a different show just on CPTSD alone, because that hypervigilance CPTSD, that can be a show all in itself. But if you have experienced narcissist abuse, CPTSD is very common. Okay. But so understand, get you a journal, unpack, write those things out. That way, when they come up, you know what this is really about. You know what this trigger is really about. You know, you have identified your stuck points. I keep thinking about this. That means you need to sit with that thought and unpack it. Why am I feeling like this? What is this really about? Okay. And understand the wilderness is necessary for your healing journey. And alone does not mean loneliness. You can be alone and still understand that God is with you. Don't replace people. Don't replace people and things and material things and whatever. Allow God to be your true source. All right. And you are going to have to break strongholds. This is an opportunity for you to be spiritually delivered. This is an opportunity for you to really identify those strongholds. those spirits of rejection. That's what the isolation really does. It really hones in on your spirit of rejection, that spirit of abandonment. Okay, and the narcissist wants to leave you rejected and abandoned. And when you've grown up being rejected and abandonment, when people discard you, it hurts like on another level. And so you grab onto people, even if they're bad for you. That is a spirit of rejection. People have shown you who they are and you still want to be around them. That is a spirit of rejection. That is an ungodly soul tie. Okay. I'm losing my voice, y'all. So you want to make sure if you have gotten out of narcissist abuse, or if you are in it, and when you are ready, okay, you have to break that soul tie. I keep saying that. That is the first step. And that means you repent, you rebuke, and you renounce. Okay. You have to break up that. All right. So that is the way, that is the first step to your healing. You are repenting because there's some sin, there's some disobedience. God didn't shackle you to that person, but God honored your covenant. Okay. God honored your decision to be shackled with the demon. Okay. So you have to go in there and break up that soul tie. All right. You have to rebuke it and renounce it. You are saying, devil, no longer am I in agreement with what you are doing. I want God's plan for my life. I'm ready to walk in obedience. And that means you got to put the fornication away. You got to put the masturbation. You got to put the adultery. You got to put all that other stuff aside, okay, to follow God's will. Obedience is the key to your deliverance. All right. So your soul has been entangled with the enemy. You are in covenant with the enemy. Okay. And you were in bondage. And now you're saying, God, I want to be in alignment with your will for my life. All right, chain breakers. Let's see what else before we get out of here. Yes, the narc wants to keep you. Absolutely. I wish people really understood that emotions really is where the devil keeps hold of you at. You know, that is where, if I can keep you thinking you're in love, and if I can keep you thinking, you know, all these things. The Bible don't talk about being in love. The Bible talks about love. Okay. But if the narc can keep you in your emotions, because it always keeps you on the defense, and you are less likely to think these things through properly, because you are trying to defend yourself all the time. And that's what we were talking about with that smear campaign. You have to get out of defending yourself, and you get to a place of peace, and you elevate, and you don't worry about those smear campaigns. You are absolutely right. Gabrielle said the wilderness exposes the idols. Ooh, now that's the truth. Oh, Gabrielle, you hit on something good. The wilderness exposes the idols in our hearts and lives. And I was in idolatry with my mother, and what didn't know it. I was in idolatry with my family. I put them before God, and God had to take those idols away from me. And I'm so glad he did. Some of you are in idolatry with just different people. Okay. Anybody that you place against above God, that is an idol. All right. Solomon, you want to let me see. Oh, pay attention to your dreams. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pay attention to your dreams. Many times God shows us what's coming via our dreams. He definitely tells me that in my dreams. He would tell me something is coming, and to pay attention. Definitely. My Baba said has no empathy or compassion, but he's not mean. I told him there's an issue. You have a problem with what video should I tell him to watch? Should I get away from him? Sophie asked, you have to test his spirit. You have to test his spirit. Does he display the fruits of the spirit? So if you don't know what the fruits of the spirit, go look those up. Go Google those, the fruits of the spirit. Are they kind? Are they patient? Are they loving? Okay. If you hear there's no empathy and no compassion, that's not a fruit of the spirit. Okay. And while we talk, we hold each other accountable. Okay. But we don't enable, but there is still empathy and compassion there, if that makes sense. Okay. So what video should I tell him to watch? Sophie, he's not your project. Okay. He has to want that. It's good that you want to lead him to the right way. You can go to him and see if he wants to learn more. But if he doesn't, then you have to let him go. It's a Bible scripture that says, what does it say? If you have a problem with your brother, then you take a witness, and then if he doesn't listen, you take two witnesses, and then But if he doesn't listen, if he listens, you have gained a brother, and if he doesn't, then you are supposed to treat him like a tax collector. Okay. See, we forget all about, it doesn't say you just keep going to him and going to him. The Bible gives us instruction after instruction on on how to handle people. It's just, we live in our emotions and we're so tied to them. So then we don't do what the Bible tells us to do. Okay. But he's not your project. All right. You pray for him. If you want to go to him and tell him these things, you can do that. And I hope that he can do that in love. But if he doesn't respond to you in love, you know that he's not your brother. You know that. Okay. Yes. I always say trust God, not man. Absolutely. Let's see. True God speaking dreams. And yes, those are blueprints and revealing the enemy's devices. They absolutely are. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. Next week is the awakening in the realization. So yeah, so just the awakening, like kind of we hit it on last week. Just your spiritual awakening, and when it comes to the realization that the magnitude like hits you, like, oh my goodness, I'm involved with a narcissist. What now? What do I do now? So that'll be next Sunday, okay? Yes. Okay, good. He responded well. Good. Yes. Learn to love your enemies from afar. It's nothing wrong with it. Everybody's not supposed to have a front row seat in your life. All right. All right, Solomon. Any last comments?
Nah, this was an awesome live. So hopefully everybody was able to take something from this, and thanks to everybody coming out, supporting us.
Yeah.
And we're still doing this, we're still learning things, but we got something to say. So that's what we're doing. So we thank all y'all for coming out each time we do a video, whether it's on Narc Free Living or on Faith-Based Workplace. So we thank y'all.
Yes. And Friday, where are we with you?
Friday, I guess I'll go ahead and say it. Adrena agreed to do part 2 from the one we just did Friday. So it'll be me, you, and Adrena on Friday.
So what was that about for people who didn't hear it, so they can go back and watch it?
The one from Friday was narcissistic friendship. So that was actually a great live. So if you want to check that one out, that was Adrena Monet, Shannon Savoy, and myself. We did that on Friday. So we're gonna do part 2 to that. I can't remember the title right off the top, but I'll drop that
women
thumbnail. Huh?
About women narcissists, something to that effect.
Yeah, it's something about narcissist women, how they underestimated or something like that. So that'll be a good one. So again, that'll be Adrena Monet, Shannon, and myself. We'll do that next Friday at 7 p.m. So that'll be good.
Yes. All right. And as always, if you have a channel, your faith-based narcissist recovery channel, feel free. We always shout out our family. We always show our family love. I didn't see Chantel in here tonight, but Chantel is doing great things. Kashmir, Adrena, who else? If you have it and I haven't put it up, please feel free to. All right, that's how you find me. And I'm doing something new. This is my foundation, my nonprofit, still getting that off the ground. And then if you want to buy me a coffee or buy me a book, it's this site, because I love to give, right? And I'm learning that it's okay to receive. So if you want to buy, I love books. So if you want to do that, just go to there. And because eventually I want to do something like with a book club or something. You see all these books that you can't really see them. But Why Does He Do This? Why Does He Do That by Lundy Buncroft. Boundaries. I know a lot of y'all follow R.C. Blake's. Oh, this is a good one, y'all. The Christian's Guide to No Contact. These are just things that I read like all the time. The Women's Daily Devotional, Declarations for Spiritual Warfare every day. So yeah, if you want to buy me a book, you can do that right there. All right. So you can give any amount, and I'm blessed whether you give or not. But I feel like it's okay to sow seeds. I sow seeds into a lot of people, so it's okay to give and to receive. But eventually I want to get into where we read books for those who are interested. All right. Let's see. Solomon, you want to lead us in a word of prayer?
Oh, you try to get me like I did you.
Yeah,
Friday,
got
man.
you.
I got you. Okay. God, we just come to you praying tonight, just saying thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the time that we was able to spend and share with the family. Because at the end of the day, what else do you have? We have family. We have God and we have family. So we don't know who our family can be, even though they blood related, but we are learning that you sending us spiritual people, people that know the situations that we are going through, and people that want to learn from these different situations dealing with narcissists, whether it's in the workplace or whether it's at home. But we pray that everybody that was on this live, that you just touch them if there's any sickness in their body or anything that's going on in their mind or heart or anything. The people that's watched the replay, just praying that they're able to learn something and take something from this, and that they're able to grow and learn from not just this channel, but different channels that's talking about narcissists. Because we know that narcissists are demonic, and we agree on that. So we just want to pray for these people that they realize that they have to remember to do the documentation and do things to help them themselves out instead of just doing things and thinking they're helping the narcissists out. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're praying for these people that they can be strong when they go through the different phases, like wilderness and smear campaigns, that they strong and they know that they're not in this alone. There's other people that have been through this, and if none of us are available, that they know that they can always turn to you because you're always available 24/7. So this we ask in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good night. Thank you. Love, peace, Adrena, Coach Letitia. Love, peace, Letitia. Thank you guys. Everybody that was in here, Danny, Tarika, Gabrielle. We thank you guys so much for being here. All right. Y'all have a good night.
See you next time.